Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good day. Hopefully my audio is good. We are back on Windows. Let me just share my live screen. Stream. And screen, I guess. That is technically not inaccurate. Yes, we are back. Adding a player to the game engine. So we're going to do a couple of things just before that, but I doubt it's going to take too long. First thing first is we've got to actually test this. This is just for people who are joining. Oops. Whatever. Question mark will do. That's me rushing a little bit. Let me turn that down on my side. Okay, so the first step that I need to... the first actual step is to get open the chat. So, to fill people in, I think it's funny that. What I've been doing, I managed to fix all the issues that we had yesterday. After that long stream, we got further along. So the first actual objective is to pull from Linux and see if this works on Windows. Which it should. There isn't much of a change, really. It's just a lot of stuff that actually makes sense. So we need to... What do we need to do? I want to do a dirty build, which just means it doesn't wipe the build directory. So we still have all the temporary stuff that we've added in the assets. And then after that, I will boot up the project and see what's broken, what isn't broken, and debug from there. And we should be good. I doubt we're gonna have any compilation issues, and if they are, they're gonna be minor. We might get a bug, but I thought I'd do this on stream after I got everything kind of working. And the other thing I'm going to do before I start adding anything else is merge this branch into master. I was thinking last night there have been so many improvements that are not game related that I think master will miss out if I don't add them. So the player that I'm going to add is literally just going to be a sphere. Nothing crazy. Yo, whoa, I'm early. There we go. There we go. So yeah, we're back on Windows. How you doing, Dietrich Coates? Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, so we fixed all the improvements on Linux, so we're back on Windows to add stuff. And we're going to add some players today. And hopefully do something with that. The goal is to have a game at some point, so yeah, we need a player basically. I mean, we could do first person thing, but we don't actually have anything to do. So that closes fine. It looks like it builds and runs fine on Windows, which is no surprise because the Linux compilers are typically more strict. And I am going to... It keeps saying there's new commits, and I don't know why. Oops. Because I checked out things... I checked out tags, and I don't know why I don't know why it keeps showing up. It's a minor concern. So git status. We have nothing here. Now I want to check out master. So we're going to do this first. Okay. Looks like we need to do that. need to update submodules, which I always forget how to do. Let me randomize the music. Git submodules. How you doing, Dietrich, anyway? Yeah. Wait, what? How's your day going? Let's get that bread. Yes, we're back at it again. Hopefully I'm not disappointing people by not being on on Linux. But yeah, we are back on Windows. Trying to add some features. Whoops, not git. That was a mistake. Okay, so hopefully that gets rid of the submodules. Changes. Okay, so there's just new tags and new the Copilot operating system. Yeah, you're not wrong there. Stoned enough to deal with Windows for real. Yeah, oh. Don't remind me about Copilot. The less I know about that, the better. Holy. I did really enjoy Linux yesterday, so why is that there? Right, I need to get out of this. I might have messed up here. We need to type in space. Please let me go back to space. Oh, it is letting me change between the two. Oh, for goodness sake, are you kidding me? God dang it. I thought it was rejecting my switch. So yeah, I'm gonna do an X-thurs merge. Yeah, rapid hash is really sick. I updated that from the other hashing library that I was using. It's like I forgot what it's called, but I use it in my maps and strings when I want to use strings in code. Okay, so now that that's just still being stupid. Master, there shouldn't be any change. Git status. There are things in here, I'm just going to ignore them. Merge X. Theirs. Isn't it theirs? No, it's theirs. Squash. We're not squash all that. X theirs, squash. Oh, I need to specify the branch. Space. Cool, git status. So I'm just going to push, going to make sure it compiles first. Let me close this and regenerate the project. That's it, yeah, that's it, yeah. WY hash. Yeah, that's the one I use. How long did it take you to port it to Linux? How long did it take? It took me 2 days, no, 3 days? No, 2.5 days, I would say, to get the Linux build working again. But I'm going backwards and forwards. I will do some Windows work, then Linux work, then back and forward like that. Just before this stream, I was in Linux exclusively, just adding extra things, improving the improving all the stuff. Sorry, improving all the what is it called? Updating the shaders. So yeah, that's what I did. Yeah. Please don't tell me you're using standard map and unmap. Hey, Ratchet. I have to say, I don't have to disappoint you today. That is not something I'm doing. I might disappoint you in the fact that I'm not using what D3 Codes is using, and I think you're using the same thing. The dense unordered map. I have another implementation that I'm using in Foundation. Yeah, if you're interested, it's in HashMap. It's just something I've kind of lifted and added a little bit stuff to, but not much. But it's uses SSE2 to do stuff, so it's fine. It does its job. I don't really use hash maps that much at all, to be honest. I try to use arrays when I can get away with it. Yeah, I think there's a good rule of thumb that I picked up in like my first year working at my last company, which was use an array until you can't use an array effectively. They said always use a vector and then specialize into whatever data structure you need. But yeah, there's nothing that interesting here. You won't find anything like mind-blowing. The grouping is kind of interesting, but if you know about hash map implementations, it's just like a standard implementation that I found. So yeah. Yeah, SDL is standard template. I'll use this one too. Oh no, you're referring to that unordered map one, because I think you've talked about this. Yes, standard template library. Yeah, SDL. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, I think Ratchet was also telling me that this standard that hash. I don't know if it's hash map or what. Yeah, it's a hash map, isn't it? Unordered maps are hash maps, and an ordered map is something else. That's going to go in the standard, right? As like a hive or something. Or am I getting mixed up with something else? Okay, so this is in the master branch now, and we'll just watch the collision detection happen again for the 17th time. Boom, boom. Okay, great. And it closes without crying. All right, cool. This is a brilliant time to push to master. Git status. Add. Commit. Merged in changes. I don't think I start the timer. Give me. Oh no, I did. Okay. From the space branch, which include improvements across the board. So there we go. And I'll push that. Hello, Kalia. How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Hope everyone's having a good day, to be honest. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Yeah, not bad. We are back at Windows, so yeah, I'm chilling. If you allow me to indulge myself just a minute, I will pause the timer for this. I just would like to check my little GitHub history thing, because it looks like I haven't been doing anything for like weeks. How do I get to my profile? Profile. Oh, okay. It has one commit. I thought it would update, but never. It did not. Okay. Yes, but we're still going to continue our development in the space branch because we're going to do some other stuff today. So I puzzled through what I could do. That's a bit loud for me, that. And it's, you know, I could fix the, and I have been neglecting the skybox to death, but I've been trying to think about well, I don't have a game yet, so the objective now is to have an entity that I can move with the camera that's offset in front of the camera, and it can collide with things and break, or basically reset. So I just need to have a sphere that updates with the camera, which is gonna, I don't think it's likely that complicated. I just need an entity that does that. So that is the goal anyway, of the stream. If we get that far, I'll be very happy. So I might deviate from what I just said I'm going to do today, because I'm at a good breaking off point. I could do literally anything at this point because I've updated the engine. Oh, actually, before I start, I will just say that I did complete what I did just for what we were doing yesterday. So, based on Ratchet's suggestion right at the end of the stream, I'm using an array to collect an assortment of basically a big buffer, and then at the end, once that array is filled up, then I just basically do a mem copy using the VMA memory to allocate thing in one go rather than individually. So we've got rid of random access, we've got rid of read, we're only doing a sequential write. So I updated everything, and yeah, I'm doing it, and this array is using my scratch allocator, which has this ability to read into a block of memory and then go back. So basically, if the marker's set here, then it goes back to that marker once I free at that point. So we did that for both buffer device addresses. So now they're updating in bulk, and there's no reading. And I've updated the GPU device allocator when I create the buffer to only do a sequential write rather than be host accessible, random access, and all that. So in theory, that should have improved the performance, but there's so little on the screen that it's hard to see. Either way, it's a great suggestion from a fellow chat guy. So from Ratchet, I should just say his name. So yeah, it was very nice. So yeah, that's where we're up to, and now I just need to basically add some gameplay. Interesting. So aligned storage is deprecated in C++23. Oh, you did some research on Vulkan. Nice. Brilliant. That's funny, Ratchet. Hang on, let me just take up my hoodie. Oh, and the crash that was happening for the physics engine was the default the default temporary allocator that it's using currently wasn't constructed properly. So only on Linux for some reason it had 0 bytes of memory to use, meaning that as soon as I accessed anything, started building an array or whatever, it core asserted. It didn't even tell me what happened. It just dies with a STD : oh, what was it? It was abort. That was it. It uses standard abort with a trace message. I couldn't see that any of that was pushed to standard out, so, or standard error. So it was a bit of a GDB debugging session earlier on today to figure out why that was happening. But yeah, so there's a couple of little changes. So I'm just going to explain the entity thing for anyone who's watching. So right now we have a camera that moves in 3D, but I want to put like where my mouse is right now, I want to put like a sphere here and just be a little bit more forward than, I don't know how big I'm going to make it, but effectively that's the thing you're going to be flying around. And like like this, you can imagine like something in here, so you can actually see what's in front and behind, and you can squeeze through gaps. And yeah, so you'll have a little collision. And the reason I'm going to make it Sophia immediately is I'm just going to make I'm not going to worry about the actual model. Maybe I should render the model. But I basically want to have this sphere here, basically, you know, so I can actually see the geometry. So the idea is like when you crash into a solid object, that's bad. When you collect a duck, I guess, in this situation, that's good. I'm sticking with spheres now, for now anyway. Until I need an actual piece of other geometry, I'm not going to worry about it. You know, adding all the other geometry types would be useful, and I'm definitely going to add them at some point, but yeah. I haven't actually turned off the debug mode. So yeah, that's the goal, I think. And eventually we'll have to add text, but I'm not too worried about that for now. I think you can have a game without text, to be honest. And if things go really well, in a sense like I solve this in like one go, I might just start adding audio, or even some gameplay. I don't know yet. Anyways, so I'm gonna go to the next song. This song is a bit slow and a bit boring. Oh, I didn't restart the thing. So yeah, let's dive into it. So we construct entities, and also just clean up the rest of the code for, you know. Right. So what are we interested in right now? So this creates an entity with a rigid body, which is what I want. Now I want to be moving the rigid body around, but do I want it to be dynamic? That's the question. I think if I add a linear force, that would be terrible. It just needs to have the same position plus an offset to the camera. Now, are you using you're going to eventually use SVG to render things? I know it seems funny, but I've seen a way to render render font within a shader just by itself. It's pretty funky looking, but I don't know how in depth I need the 2D renderer to be. Like, can I get away with just rendering text in a shader and just disabling it or something? I don't think you can resize it, or I'm placing it around the screen is kind of a pain, but it might be enough. But anyway, like I said, I want to keep this game very, very basic. Like, totally not anything that'll be remotely impressive to the layman at least. Yeah, I think what Rachu said there is exactly right. Font rendering can be extremely... yeah, it's a bit of a rabbit hole. You can get really into it. I don't think I will get that far into it, personally, because I just feel like it's not that necessary. Okay, so where are my entities built? So we have an entity metastruct, we have the entity data, which is the position. So these are the two things that I care about. And this as well, I guess, is the model. And the actual, so this whole thing is these four together are, no, sorry, this array points to indices in these. So these three together are an entity, and these are the components or whatever, component vector or array even. So what do I want? How do I want to do this? So I'm gonna, because I'm not exactly sure. I've just decided to do this. I don't have a plan yet, so I might end up writing some code, deleting it. Because I think I need to wait a way our way to distinguish between a player and a rock or whatever, because that I don't want that to move with the camera. So that needs to have a different thing. I'm tempted to have it outside these arrays completely, to be honest, and just have like a player class, a player struct even, and with that updated and all that kind of stuff. The only downside of that is it doesn't fit into the loops at all for rendering. See, it's like, do I want it in the loop and then I have to extract out that random elements? I guess I could just have a player ID and that could be the thing that I care about. So the player ID is I don't know, 1 or 0. Hi Shadowclaw. What's going on? Lucas was entities. Says entities, a lot of entities. Right. Yeah. GPU driven rendering is burr. Yeah, real ones know that rendering loops are cringe. Yeah, I know what you mean. What are you working on, man? Yeah, so I'm working on adding a player to this little space demo thing. We have collision detection, well, at least the very primitive version of it, and now we just need to have something that can collide with the objects in the scene, which they do. These do collide, and they will collide with whatever, but yeah, there's no gameplay here, so yeah, or anything to do. So yeah, I'm trying to fix that. Yeah, it's rendering loops. You're not wrong there. I do eventually need to build VK draw calls that are indirect, and I just pass buffers up and down different shaders to call them or whatever. But for this very simple game idea that I have, which is not going to be a big game at all, it's going to be very small. It's just going to be free, it's going to be online, and I think this is just going to be, can I make a game in a game engine? That's the question, in this game engine. That's beyond just the simplest thing of all time. Like pressing a key and then you win or something. I don't think it's going to be very complicated, but for now, this is good enough. We'll see if it is. Again, it's going to be the scope. I want to keep the scope small, and then once I finish that, then improve the other stuff. So yes, we will be moving away from this idea soon. Well, soon, TM. That was a joke that my work colleagues came up with. Soon TM was like, it could be tomorrow or 17 years in the future. Who knows? Anyway, so we want to. What do I want to do here? Yeah, I think I'm going to track the entity that I care about to update the position differently with a number, and that number is going to be stored in. Yeah, the entity itself, I think. So let's go to the scene construction, and we will be adding a, because this is the other thing. This thing is all single threaded, like all this is threaded, not threaded at all. Sorry. So loading assets is just happens in a single thread before the rendering happens. Like there's not even transparency in this, but I'm just like, that can come later if I'm game focused. So yeah, So how do I want to do this? I want to build another entity at, I don't know, okay, so we need to move some things around. Okay, so these docks will, let's move this. Do I even want these? I'm eventually going to make everything solid, so these are just proof of concepts. Actually, let's do that. Let's remove all these from the scene, the manually added things, and just get that randomly generated scene to have solid objects. And we can go from there. Hopefully that doesn't break, and if it does, we can debug it. So we just need to change this to solid objects. And then hopefully it renders everything in the same way. So and we need so we have random. We need a quaternion to be. No, we don't. Because we're using spheres, we actually don't need to rotate anything. And this is only for the model itself, not for not for the actual collision geometry. So this goes in here. And we need this to be so axis, angle. No, again, I don't need this to be changed. Sphere object. We have a same sphere, rigid body. Get rid of these two. And I'm leaving this commented out one so I can actually add the player. The ducks will come later. But so I'll leave these in for a minute. So we'll see what happens when I do that. Escape point. How good are you at making C++? How good are you at C++ and maths? Yeah, I had a feeling that would happen. You're going to work on a player control. Yes, player control character right now. That's what I'm working on, Shadow Core. So I'm just catching up with everything. I call what you call an entity an actor. Yeah. Effectively, yeah. That's what I'm doing exactly. You can call that. How good am I at C++ and maths? Maths definitely not that good. The only maths I've studied are up to what the Americans call pre-calculus. So I taught myself all the way up from pre-calculus after school. That's a long story, but I'll just leave it there. And okay, 4. The other thing that I did after that was right tail colliders. Yeah. Is I read a book on linear algebra. Basically that book I showed you, that Foundations of Game Engine Development. So I'm not that good at all. I'm pretty trash. Especially because I'm out of practice. C++, my C++ skills will vary depending on who you ask. Like if you're someone who's like really into the new C++ standards, my C++ knowledge is very, very thin. And that's by design. I do that. I have done that on purpose. I can do everything I need to with the C++ skills I currently have when it comes to actually typing in the syntax. That is good enough to learn Vulkan, I think, and do game engine development. I'm very focused. I like data-oriented design. Or data-oriented programming. Sorry, that's something else. Cool. So these are all solid. This is the thing I saw last time. I didn't actually... Ah, I know why this has happened. I'm probably moving a different thing. Oh, the rotate. Oh, I see. Hang on. They're all the same rotation. That's not good. So I do actually need to do this. Fortunately, rotating spheres doesn't do anything. Axis. Yeah, you can YOLO most of the maths in game development. Similar story with me with maths. Oh, really? I'm not the only one then. That's interesting. So these are all solid now. So if you wanted to do Vulkan, and you're not sure if you're ready, if that's why you're asking, there's only one way to find out, and that's give it a shot. Sorry, I'm looking for a rock that's moving, if one is moving at all. Oh, they won't move because they're static. Okay. Because I think what's happened here is this entity is now not duck entity that we've been doing. What do I want to do? Yeah, just a sphere for now. Yeah, let me turn off the debug renderer for a minute. No, that's P. Yeah, they're all the same direction. That looks terrible. Yeah, no problem. I'm studying class. Is it just me or is your collider... Is it just me? Is it just... Sorry, is it just B or... Your collider is not great? I assume you mean just me. Alright, what do you mean, like they're too small? Or they don't fit the model very well? I mean, they're only spheres, so there's a limited amount of colliding. My point... Why is it not rotating the model? That's interesting. Entity data. So when they're solid, they don't rotate. When it's not solid, they do rotate. I'm hot. Literally, not figuratively. Oh, hang on. Scaled vector. Okay, it's calculated. And yeah, I could do any type of geometry. I could do, well, Jolt has support for anything. Anything that you'd want. But I'm going for a good enough. This will be the first draft of the game. I'm not going to release the game as soon as it is remotely functional. I'm going to build it so it's actually, you can actually play it and then improve stuff like using different colliders to make gameplay a little bit less awkward. Or if I do use spheres, I might make the rocks more round, so it's more like asteroids. Yeah, you're not going to be, like I said, you're not going to be mind blown. I mean, not like in the truest sense. Like, there's not going to be anything that you're going to be impressed with when it comes to the actual models. Sorry, the actual game. The gameplay is going to be pretty derivative. It's just going to be it's possible, effectively. especially on the first draft. It's going to be like a really crappy game to begin with. I'm going to make it better over time. Up until a point, and then I'll leave it, and then I'll move on to something else. Because I don't want to get stuck. Always trying to make the perfect game before like the engine's even any good. So there's a cross between, I don't want to pump out a game that's just absolutely beyond terrible, which I probably will think it is by the time I finish. But I also I just want to finish something. Why is the rotation not updating? Yeah, these random values, angle. Do we lose the value? I probably shouldn't be doing a pass by copy for that. How big is this struct actually? I doubt it matters, to be honest. Yeah, because the philosophy of what I've picked up, well, the philosophy I'm trying to channel, at least, is I don't want to be a guy who doesn't... How do I explain this a bit better? I want the games to drive the engine technology. So if I don't need anything other than spheres, for example, which I probably do, that's just an example though, then I don't want to have anything other than spheres. Ray tracing, for example, if I want to have really nice lighting, because I think my game will look nicer if I do that, then I want it in. If I don't need it, then I want it out. Then I don't want to implement it. So it's like a game first game engine, rather than build all the tools first and then make the game second. I want to build a crappy game, and then build a slightly less crappy game, and then build a slightly less crappy game, and then I build etc. And then have the engine evolve with that. So hopefully that makes sense, like why I'm just kind of marching along trying to make gameplay right now, when there are like many rooms for improvement when it comes to my engine, I guess. Right now, at least, as you can probably find hundreds of things that are wrong. Like I wouldn't be surprised if you looked at anyway. Ugh. But I do listen. I do listen to what people say. I do try. I do improve. I do try my best. Things that are egregious mistakes, I'll fix. Okay, so rotation. I just can't see the difference here. So it's not like when I loop through the rendering loop or whatever for the entities, or loop through the entities to render them, that I use a different position. So this and this and this. There are some downsides to my approach, I think. You can end up the grow organically type issue, where you end up kind of designing your coding-wise, design yourself into a corner. Let's just say I decide that I want to do X, Y, and Z for one game, and then try and do a completely different game, and I have to tear all of it out. That's a risk. I'm definitely aware of that, though. I'm aware of it as I can be, because you are blind to that to some degree, because you can't predict the future. So all the entities get rendered, but all the geometry is the same. Hang on, let me just check if the actual rotation actually changes. Because it's just a bit strange. I get the same code here. This is literally the same code. And I don't know why that would be different. Okay, so I've just got to do a sanity check. It's a pretty obvious one. It's going to be dead simple. Yep. Okay. And then so that was 9. Let's try that again. Wait. Huh? It's always the same? Wait, why did it work before? Okay, let's do this, I guess. But that doesn't make any sense either. Like, why would it... That's just different every time. It's not different every... So yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Okay, they are changing now. Let's just see if that did anything. No, I keep pressing P. Nope. No, they're all getting the same rotation for some reason. Cars, why? Is it... What? On a bit... This will be a stupid, like, oh, I did this thing wrong. I just can't figure out exactly where the rotation's updated. Like, why is it always the same? I think this has always been a bug, actually, now I think about it. I think when I do this, it actually updates the rotation. And then in the position, that actually... Okay, I think that's what it is. How do I get around this? Okay. How do I get around this? I think I've just got to set the position of the rotation. Yeah. I think that's it. Because it's accounting... Yeah, okay, so... I honestly don't care about the rotation right now. So what I'm going to build up is I'm going to build a visor. Which is just GLM speak for a quaternion. What is it? Vensor? What is this thing called? Quaternion. That's it. This thing. Vessel. Right. So we're gonna normalize that with W. Like, I don't really care what the actual orientation is in this scene. So we'll just see how this goes. Axis is quaternion. And how do I normalize a quaternion? I think this will be vessels. Do you even normalize these things in it when you make it a scaled vector? Hang on. I'm going backwards here. I need to make from the scaled vector, I need to get a quaternion from. So if I'm going to scale a matrix, I need to, yeah, okay. It does need to have the same rotation, and that's the other thing. How do you pull out the rotation? I think I just need to do, yeah, do rotation differently in this. So instead of make rotation, so let's just see what we have access to. Is there a make rotation quaternion edition? This is good. Translate, make, scale, rotate, XYZ. Is there a versor here? How would I rotate by the quaternion then? I think I'm just going to provide 4 different values. Right, I'm going to bust out the oldest engine that I have at the moment. What if it, no, it won't exist there. Give me a second, gang. I'm just going to pull out my old game engine. Wherever it lives. No, it won't be here. That's too new. Oh, I called them stupid. Nope. This just has the actual code to do the rotation in. What's this? Wind. That's the one I want. Just quaternions. They're just called that something different in GLM. It's the same underlying data structure there. Okay, so there's a lot of good stuff in this engine. And the thing I care about is core CPP. Because I did this manually. So I rotate a quanta into rotation. So from an axis. Right, okay. So from a scaled vector. Is that what I want? Axis degree. Yeah, okay, that's how you do it. It's a bit overkill, but sure. Yeah. It does call them quaternions, but not the S version that has the union. It's a bit of a complicated admittedly. And Empire, I think we have access to in correct maths. And now I want to construct a quaternion. Wait, can I just throw this in here like this? So and cost half angle. So this is like the hackiest math you've ever seen. probably not very fast. I don't know if this needs to be normalized, so excuse me if that's wrong. But we do want to rotate the model and the rigid body at the same time, which is kind of tricky because that changes the collision geometry, which is kind of tricky, but for now we have spheres, so it's not an issue. Alright. I don't hate real GLM, I just see GLM's fine. Are these all the same again? Nothing rotated. What? Quantanium has values in. Are these... Okay, we don't need this. CGLM has like 715,161 problems with it. Is it that bad? I haven't checked the issues. Doesn't also GLM? I feel like maths libraries always get, you know, you haven't done this right thing. I'm not gonna look. I'll trust that it's absolutely atrocious and GLM's absolutely the next level math library of all time, and I just say I'm just gonna use this until it's inconvenient enough that I have to switch. I mean, you have problems with every stream. I'm not having problems with it now. I'm having problems with the Jolt library. For some reason, it's not accepting my rotation. I mean, it could be the I think it's literally me. The way I've done this is like I've got like an axis and what is it called? An angle, and I do the rotation or whatever, and that's assigned here totally fine in the non-solid. So if I do the non-solid version, just comment this out for a minute, and we have. Actually, I'm just going to grab the original, just like this. That should do that to begin with. Obviously, we won't have any colliders now for our geometry, but as you can see, the objects are rotated. So for some reason, when I do the solid version, they don't rotate. So it looks way worse because they all look the same. They got the same orientation. And it's... I thought it was to do with the physics library rotating everything to the units to the same orientation. But I can't see why or how that would be an issue. By the way, are you sure Jolt wants you? I have no idea actually. That's a really good point. Let's have a look. So, what? Yeah, thanks for bringing it up. Actually, let's check. Oops. Go back. Oh, why did you do that? Super annoying. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, four-dimensional vectors. Yep. If the unit length is 1. Note that we store things in X, Y, Z, W. Right. So there we go. But no, that's a good point. It could have been the other way around. And then my orientation's all screwed up. Because I assumed that to be the case. Okay, so what changes here between the two different versions? Let me check my rendering code because that might actually be. So if I get rid of, this is tough. I can't just remove one thing because it'll just break. But this should be separate from this. This is what I don't quite get. So the position gets updated with this get world transform. I think that's resetting everything to 0 based on this index. So I think it's this. Like it has no rotation. But I thought I set the orientation and it would be like, okay, the orientation's different, but it clearly isn't. Let's see. Let's put this mic thing back in. I mean, what else is there to get? There's 2 different things I could get that return just a map for. I could get center of mass transform. I don't know. I thought this would be like the actual rotation, so let's go back and just see, does this store the actual rotation or is this just the translation? Get rid of this for a minute. I think we've got, no, we're on. No, it's the same again. But this definitely updates the rotation of the object. Well, the other one does, sorry. Because when I slam a duck into the rock, it kind of rotates. So I'll put this back for now. But it doesn't rotate. You know I could do if static. I could just say if static, don't do anything. That would solve half my problems. Because why would we need to update the position if it's static anyway? Maybe the color, but right now that's not a thing. So if entity, so we need to get at the no, this needs to, no, this is fine. Left to right, so let me think. So we want to get into our geometry. Debug, index, model index, position index, shape. Is it shape setting though? That's the thing, I'm not sure. Static. Checks if the shape can be used to create a static. No. I mean, I could just store more data, but I kind of want to avoid that if I can. If it's already there. So we have access to... How would we know if it's static or not? No, this only solves half the problem. What I'm doing here is just solving the problem I have now, but I'm not solving the problem I'm going to have in the future when the dynamic objects are all going to have the same orientation. This is tricky. I mean, transform assumes that rotation and... that it has, yeah, it has rotation in it, which is a Quaternion. Okay. I'm gonna try and just get around this, and just test if it's actually changing by having the same value, screenshot on it, and see what the change is when the numbers change, so I can actually see the difference. And that's normalized, I think. That's the other thing. I don't know if the Quaternion has to be normalized. It is normalized. It is not normalized. Can I just normalize? So JPH Quaternion. With the values of that. Normalize? Yep. Okay. Hopefully that does what it wants. Returns a value. Alright. Okay, so they're all different. Okay, let's turn this off for a minute. Snip. Okay, and close that. If we go with 2, 2, 2, 2, which should be completely different. And if not, I'll change some of the values in the middle and not the others. Why is this different? Snip. They look all the same direction, to be honest. Yeah, these look exactly the same. Why would that be the case? It's weird. It's all the same in the same direction. Okay, let's just okay. I might have literally typed in the same Quaternion once it's normalized. I don't remember what the normalization maths is. Oh, okay. That is different. So, my idiot understanding is that if you throw these in, oops, it should be different every time because it's going to be a different value. I mean, it'll different for each one. But it never is. I mean, it's the same value, but it's like, you know, I can put this here and this here. Obviously that's not right, but okay, now it's working. Yeah, that's clearly all rotated in different directions. Okay, so what I'm going to also do is just see if movement is broken, because I don't quite understand why that's happened at this. I think it's very simple though. I think it's this. I hope this works, because we should get the ducks moving now, but I'm not sure what direction they're going to move in. Okay, yeah, they are moving. Great. Uh-huh. Great. Still, though, the rotation of the model and the... Is he going to touch? Interesting, so it went through that one. So it's not solid for some reason. Did it go to sleep? It might have gone to sleep. No, they're both active. Yip tag, you should try running your engine on Void Linux, since the engine is also code Void. Is there a Void Linux? Yeah, it must be the coolest Linux ever. I use Void, by the way. Kind of curious what this is. Quick Google. Should pause the timer briefly. Oh yeah. Cool. Now, if there was an escape point Linux, that would be my main operating system tomorrow. Interesting. So, the collision detection didn't work. And I don't know why that would happen. Based on the collision detection... Okay, so let's speed up this talk a little bit. It uses Moselle and not glibc. Interesting. Also fire music. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm just trying to pick like good video game soundtracks and add them to the playlist. If anyone has like a good video game soundtrack, I will throw them in. I feel like I've got too many Ratchet and Clank music. I've been trying to offset the amount of Ratchet and Clank music I've got. Yeah, so that just goes through, interestingly. But you don't. Right? And also the orientation of the sphere shouldn't make any difference. I might speed these up again, like make it like 16 or something. No, that also went through. What? They all have bodies. They have position, they have rotation. I mean, the rotation of the sphere and this are going to be different. Haven't listened to the Sonic CD soundtrack, the JP version to be specific. Yeah, let's throw it on. Briefly, sorry to be a bit distracted. Sonic. CD Lost GP. Right, we'll throw that on and we'll see how it goes. What I'll do is put it on random. Nice. Okay, so what have we got? Yeah, because I need like new music for that playlist. So if I like it, I'll add a load. Hopefully that's. Have you played Hollow Knight? Because the soundtrack is really good. No, I haven't. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I'll look into that and give that. I've been meaning to play it, to be honest. It's one of these things that like, oh, Silk Song looks so good, and I haven't played Hollow Knight yet, so I can't play that yet. Kind of missed the boat when it came out. Okay, so why isn't the collision detection working? It's like it's not turned on or something. When originally... I'm a bit confused. I'm super confused. Because I thought I got it working and then it's not working now. Okay, let's just check that the actual visual, what we're actually seeing is matching up with the actual colliders. So if I just speed up the ducks and just see if it actually ever hits something with the linear. Yes, they're all static. They're all they're on the moving layer with the ducks. And what I'm gonna do is just double the speed of these guys. Because there's no gravity, they shouldn't slow down unless they hit something. Now I know this yay sound effect comes from at least. Okay, so let's follow this guy. So he goes through that one, I'm just wondering if he hits anything else. Like a phantom object that's not actually being rendered. Which might happen. Might even speed up again. No. They could be all inactive. That's the other thing that might be the case. I wonder if I can set make them active or something. Okay, so these get ran. Do I need to do something like add them to the... Oh, is it 3x harder? Okay, yeah, I'll definitely play the original. I feel like I've hit the credits song. It is nice though. Okay, the first song I've listened to is the credits. Do I do anything with these? Yeah, create body active for the shape setting. They all use the same shape setting, but I thought that was normal. I mean, I literally could just make new shape settings for each thing. Okay, I'll do that. And... that's actually one level? Wow, holy, that's sick. No complaints, by the way. I'm happy to listen to something new. I'm pretty open to that kind of stuff. Rock shape. Okay. And we'll paste this in here. And do it as a stack variable then. And we shall go to the next. In the credits, okay. Nope, goes straight through. Maybe it was a bad idea to go random. Let's sorry to... maybe I should just go through proper. And if it gets slow, well, okay, so we'll go to this one. We've had that one. Yeah, that's true. I've not added any Sonic 2 music to my playlist. Okay, so I've played that one all the way through. Anyway, so no difference. The object is created and added. We check out what shape it is, we get these radius from that. Obviously we would switch through and build different models. Turn this down a bit. And after that, what do we want to do? Why is this not colliding? Oh, I thought we solved this issue. I really thought we did. I thought we were past this. Okay. Yeah, this music is a straight vibe. Yeah, it's great. This. Okay, so when I follow the Hello World program, I know you can add a bunch, but it says don't add them in incrementally because it's slow. But I don't know. Let's move back. It goes through the floor. What do you do? Do you do anything? And then you go straight through as well. And I didn't change the update position. Let's look at the... hang on. Let's look at the... this. That will tell me if a collision happens. Because it spams it. Okay, so I'll put this here. Like this. It says like activated, validated and all that over and over again. Really? Okay, let me... Okay, so I'm going to do something a bit mad and set all these rocks in a row and just see if it goes through any of them. So for the x coordinates, we're just going to increment by I times by, I don't know, 10f, and the rest is just going to be 0. F. Okay, so that should just display them in order. It's actually probably not too big. Hang on. I think it's too small. Let's see. The radius is 13.5. That would be 27. So I assume I want like a bit of range, so 35. I want a bit of a gap. Okay, that was a bit lame. But even if they're all in one place, it doesn't collide with any of them. Why? Vprint, let's print this out and just have a look what the value is of the debug entity. And new line. I just want to see if it's actually, if we're getting values that make sense. And for more than one, although is going to be spamming to this. Yep, that makes sense. That's exactly what I would want to see. Okay. Let me think. The struggle continues. So we are looping through all the entities. We're getting the world transform. So it should be updating the position based on a clip, but there's no collision detection because the colliders would have gone off. Do I need a new shape every single time? I thought I didn't need to do this, but I could do that as well, I guess. Scene. So rock shape reference. So yeah, let's grab all this. And yeah, change this back because that didn't work at all. So we'll get a rock sphere. We'll set this to embedded. And then we get the rock reference. Call this 2. Okay, so we're getting a new one. It's embedded, so that means in Jolt anyway, it's going to be deleted on the stack. So it does like reference counting thing. You gotta be careful with these because they don't actually delete properly. So, oh, hang on. Yep, let's get rid of that. Let's just slow everything down to a crazy amount. Okay, so now we have a new shape. We have a new shape setting. Nope. And you just are also poop. I mean, this worked when it was just 2, which I don't understand the difference. Hang on, get rid of this. Not that it matters, but okay, I'll do that. I mean, I'll make them all dynamic if I have to. Why can't everything be easy? Woohoo. Lag City. Why is everything colliding with everything? What? Oh, that's why they're touching. Wait, what? Okay, let's do that again. Hang on. That was confusing. I'm going to zoom out and just see if anything moves. Okay, so it looks like... Yeah, not... Okay, so it looks like all the spheres kind of pushed out from each other, like instantly. So these are working, but they're not colliding with the ducks for some reason. Oh, this is super confusing. And if I do that again without, if I make them all solid, so that means they don't update. Sorry, static. And I go to, I don't know. Where was it? It was like a clump of 3 of them. Yeah. So they definitely overlap. Yeah, like right here. I don't think there's a gap here. Yeah, thank Garachi for this one. He just said this is a good soundtrack, so yeah, sticking it on. It's the Japanese Sonic CD soundtrack. Yeah, I'm enjoying it as well. Even if I'm baffled beyond belief. Okay. Let's make the radius like so much smaller. And just see if any of them collide. And what I'm going to do is also put the ducks last. Instead, -2 says to 0. So now they're the last element in the list. Yeah, no problem. See you in a minute, man. Okay, that's what I wanted. Oh, that's also true. The ducks are also going to be stuck in here. But yeah, absolutely no collisions at all. Okay, I'm just going to lag my computer to oblivion. Okay. Right, so I don't know what's going to happen here, but this is going to cause a massive slowdown. Be prepared for it to lag. Yeah, fair enough. So they do collide with each other because we got a crash, but I don't know why they're not colliding with the ducks. It's the most confusing. All's the difference here is there is a different setting and a different shape. But surely you can work out the... I don't know. I might have to look at the documentation and see what's going on there. Right, let's get to the next. Alright, let's read some documentation. Wait, sorry, I know it's not the most exciting live stream, but when I'm reading documentation, but it's for improvement's sake, it's something I have to do. Oops. No, that's not what I wanted to do. There you go. Okay. wonder if I should make them kinematic. I know it's... I should be reading the documentation. I've said that, but... I'm just confused. Like... Nope. Alright. Let's make this 500 again, because it is just cramped and it's kind of stupid. And then, yeah, I'll read some documentation. And this happened before the rotation. Where are the ducks? Oh. Yeah. There's no linear force. That's only added to the rocks, which are... which aren't going to move. Size -2, -1. So they're the last elements in the list. We should see something moving. Oh, you know, I've just noticed, hang on. They're not activated, I don't think. So... if I throw this up here... I think what's going wrong... if I... go to... Right, let me just run this again. And what I'm going to do is git stash, and then we're going to see something different, I think, in the console. Oh no, bodies activate. No, they are activated. Okay. Really? What's wrong with the soundtrack? It's sick. I almost want to go to Linux myself and just see if this works on Linux. And that would mean ending the stream looking that probably doesn't work on Linux, but I'm just baffled. The real answer is Sega America's made a stupid decision. Yeah, very bizarre decision. Yeah, because this is a fun soundtrack. I think it's also EU apparently. Yeah, so EU went, Europe went along with this. Hmm. Hmm. So what happens when we create a body with the body interface? Create and add. Create a body, initialize it. You cannot use new. Sure. Add a body to the physics system. So I'll participate in the physics simulation. Remove it. Destroy it. Hmm. If you need to add many bodies, then there are functions. Prepare bodies. Pairs bodies. Doesn't affect. Okay, maybe I should do this. Finalize the insertion. All right, let's do what we're supposed to do, because this is actually what we're supposed to do. So we need an array of bodies, and then add prepare bodies. So if we just create bodies, add them to a list, and then in number, finalize the physics system, because this might be the issue, right? We're trying to do too many things at once. And yeah, I think this just breaks under how many bodies we're trying to add. I was going to try and avoid this, but I don't think it's that complicated. In number. What's the in number? Is that just how many? Adding in number bodies. Okay. So we just say size of array. And then, yeah, it's just the size of array. In state. So I can just make them all static. And what was that? In activation mode. So yeah, we can. So that's the state. I think that's to do with. Right. Okay. So we need to create them all. Create all the bodies. So instead of create and add, we're gonna create body, and this makes sense. Yeah, we have body IDs here. We can just have we can access the array of them. I think we can do that. It wants a pointer of. Is this Godot's physics engine? I think it has support for both Mado, sorry. So it has its own, and I believe it has Jolt's physics engine too. Well, it has at least support for it. So yes, in a way. But Jolt is independent of Godot. Or Godot. I don't know why people call it Godot. It's rubbed off on me. Okay, so I have an array. I have a pointer. I don't. Okay, let's think about this. It's not a. It's body ID JPH. Okay, this song's good. I like this one a lot. To be added. Is this what this is? Yeah. Tidal temp. Yeah, I can see why you like this one. Yeah, I miss when games put like break beats and had like drum and bass vibes going on. Okay, so create an ad. That's not going to fly anymore. We want to initialize this to the total number of bodies that are going to be... No, I'm just going to do this a bit different, I think, for the others. Total number of bodies is allocator plus total entities, but we're not going to index into them. We're just going to push back because I don't really know the total size. So push. So when we create a body with the physics interface, create body. Yep. So we just want to throw in no, it doesn't need to be a pointer actually, it's the other way around. No, what's this return? A pointer to a body. I want a body ID though. How do we create bodies with and get the ID? I mean, I could just... Oh, let's get rid of this compilation error for a minute. Can I get ID? Yeah. That's actually what I want to do. And that will create a load of them as we go. And then, based on that, we want to use the body interface to add and prepare and then add in thingy. Okay, so add and prepare bodies. Added bodies. Data and body. I assume this is just an array. Okay. The next thing is to use the same deal. Oh, hang on. What am I doing? I need to I'm looking for my Visual Studio, my IDE here. No, this is... Alright, let's get rid of this for a minute. Yeah. Okay, so the reason I'm doing this is because I need to set up the ducks separately, I think. So I'm actually going to put this back for a minute. So prepare bodies and then finalize them, which takes in the first two arguments again, and this takes in the state, which I think this is the state, right? No, it's motion type. Okay, so I don't know this. I don't know what these are. I thought I did. Oh, I know what action type is. Is this a add state handles? Keep track. Okay, I'm gonna Let me think. What do I need to do? I need to find out what action state is. I think I know what the last variable is. It's, yeah, active. These all need to be... I want them to be active because... So... Otherwise, I don't think they'll take part in the simulation. But the finalized thing. Okay, documentation says what about this? Finalize adding bodies into the system. Supply the return value of the... Oh, okay. That returns something? What did you return? Oh, you did. Okay. Let's grab this then. Add state. JPH. Added state equals this. And that should be everything that we've added. The rest I'm going to leave the ducks are going to be added differently. Because I realized that the... Oh, hang on. No, I got confused. Never mind, I got confused. I don't actually need to do what I did. I thought I did. Sorry. It is a simple misunderstanding what add state was. Now I know what it is. I can actually do this for real and have everything added all at once. Which is good, good, good. That's actually really good. Because the actual added states, everything's activated. Everything just gets added to this. Now, we might end up losing the... yeah, I still need that body ID that gets this thing. So I'm going to pull this out. For something else. JPH. This is actually easier than I thought. I thought adding them in bulk would be a pain in the neck. So we throw in this and the original code was what? This. No, actually just need this. So we need the body ID of entity to be set. So it's the same guy. I assume this is just an integer or something. We'll find out when it doesn't compile. Okay, so I think that's the better way of doing it. If I'm allowed to do it like this anyway. So that is a... What number are we on here? Call stack? Oh. The first element? Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I initialized the same variable twice. Sorry, yeah. The same array even. Okay. That's what I actually needed to do. And now it actually has... I'm glad that crashed like that, because if that worked, that would have been a disaster. That would have been some awful memory corruption. Okay. Read access violation because this returns null. It's pretty obvious, right? And this is on the first one. No. It's here for some reason. What number are we on here then? What? 1022. We failed to create a body? At that number? Why? Oh, sorry. I looked away from chat for too long. How did you start your journey learning C++ and game dev? It's a long story, but I'll condense it down to I was just learning C++ because I found that Java wasn't that interesting because I couldn't click on it. I didn't know I was such a noob. I didn't know how to make a Java application executable. Everything I wrote in Java was ran in the Eclipse IDE, which is like I don't know if it's still around. And so I started to learn C++ so I could actually click on. Yeah, I focused too deeply indeed. So I could actually click on executables. The reason I got into game development though is because I had someone who was a bit older than me. He started when I was about 17. So I'd just been programming for like 9 months, if that. And he decided to try and start a game studio, an independent game studio, and he included me in it. And basically, I've been interested ever since. So it's actually like someone else has put the idea in my mind. And yeah, I just I've been inconsistent as hell over the years. Since that, like I would be way better if I wasn't. No, I'm gonna run this again. So it's not. I should be better than I am now, but what can you do? Me 2 months of too much in on the C++. Yeah, keep it going, dude. Like I was super undisciplined, right? Is this always the same? That's what I want to know. Oh no, I need to go out to here. 1022 breaks. Is there a limit to how many bodies you can add? It says you can only add 1,000. Let's see. I wonder what the documentation says about this function. Create body. Is there like a limit? Create a body or null. Oh, when out of bodies. Oh, so it's out of bodies. How do I make it not out of bodies? Is there a way to... Ugh. Is there a way to... How do I get more bodies though? Okay, this song's also pretty sick. I love all the samples. It literally is the same sample as Ratchet and Clank 1 on Outpost X11, I think it's called. And that could be level 2 or 3 depending on which order you play the levels. Mm-hmm. Game dev is for the beasts. Well, you can become one too if you want. You just have to keep at it. I wouldn't call myself a beast, to be honest, as well. I'm very aware of my flaws. You'll see me constantly criticize my own ability, I think. I feel like that right now. I'm pretty... Why am I struggling with this? I wanted to add a player character, and now I'm figuring out why we're running out of bodies when we're using this physics interface. I didn't even know that could happen. I know how you feel, dude. Honestly, it's been a dream of mine as well to do exactly what you're saying. It's easy for anyone to say, yeah, just do it then. But it's not... Yeah, it's so tough. So I know exactly what you mean. Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, it's a tough journey, but you know, it's one I take gracefully and thankfully, if that makes sense. Multi-threaded access. Is there a way to make more? Well, clearly adding something to the system means that I have more bodies. What's the total number of bodies I can add? I don't even know that. Is there a physics interface for that? Yeah, if anyone thinks I'm like a genius or like super awesome or whatever, the reason I say like when I say like literally anyone can do what I'm doing is because throughout school and university I was like the bottom of my class. Like I'm not talented, remotely talented. So, you know, if you think, wow, this is cool that he can do this, then, you know, I almost think that anyone who's watching this could even do more than what I'm doing if you think I can do, if you think I'm doing good. If that makes sense. Get number of bodies. Get the number of bodies that are on the body manager. Okay, so get max, but guess the maximum number of bodies the physics system can support. Okay, so there's two variables here I can look at. Yeah, true. But yeah, if I went into details, you'd be shocked, like how. Not shocked. I think you'd be surprised how bad my education went. Like I'm really not talented, and I take that as like it just means I have to work harder. So I try and work really, really hard. Well, as hard as I think. Maybe I'm not working hard enough. You could say that, like you could be working harder or whatever. But you know, I just try my absolute best, and if my best isn't good enough, then you know, that's fine. Where's this? Sorry, I lost where I was. Like I want to be never done. This is the physics system. And I have just dot physics. Okay, so I need the physics system from that. Yes, okay, so get number max number of bodies, and what's this? Get bodies. I can't remember. Number. Yep. Yeah, so I literally truly believe anyone listening to what I'm saying right now could honestly be a world beater when it comes to programming. If I can get this far, you can get much further. Max bodies, and I'll change the other one to number bodies. That's it, you just got to improve every day. And yeah, school ranks don't matter. I dropped a semester in university to play, WoW, Wrath of the Lich King expansion. Based? No, I don't. Yeah. Yeah, I'm honestly, because of 120. Okay. So I can only add 1,024 bodies to a simulation. Is there a way to add more? How do I deal with this? Like, do I have to add like 1,024 or 1,023 bodies at a go? That just seems a bit random. Surely I thought it meant that when you're adding bodies to a scene, you're adding like, especially static geometry. Is that unrealistic in a video game to have that many colliding objects? It just seems really small for each level, right? I mean, I can just add them, but seems really small. Yeah, obviously work hard in school and stuff, but you know, I feel like you are your ultimate teacher at the end of the day. Like, it doesn't matter what anyone said. If you're like with like I was told I was stupid, so you know, fuck them. Teach myself then. Yeah, I was thinking of like adding 120. You do want to limit the active number of physics objects unless you want an infinite CPU total. I think this is for the body manager. I'm not exactly sure. Keeps track of the bodies that are in the simulation. When I was adding them one at a time, they would maybe that was it. That's interesting. Maybe I literally have a limit to how many things that I can add to the scene. And that's why the collision detection breaks down, because some of the bodies don't exist or whatever. That would make sense, right? But now I'm kind of stuck, because it's like, if I want to build like an asteroid type game, having 1,024 objects in a game is kind of low. I mean, I can move them around and move the position and stuff, but there's like, I want to interact with other stuff as well. I guess I could just make the asteroids like massive. It just seems like a small amount. Windows not mint today. Yeah, sorry. I'll be definitely going back and forward between the two. Yeah, I could increase the temporary allocator. That's a good point. Let's see. Let's see what that does. The reason I have to work on Windows, by the way, guys, I know people are like micro slop and AI poo and all that kind of stuff, is because regardless of what the stats say, most gamers are still on Windows. So I have to make generally, I have to be the most late adopter to the technology when it comes to what operating system I use. Okay, so let's increase the size. But I am trying to support people who are moving to Linux by like making stuff native on Linux. Yeah, okay. I'll that's a good idea, I may ask. But let's just see. No, it's still the same. What I'm thinking of doing though is literally just adding them to the simulation and see if like I don't know, let's just say if I is equal to 500 or I is equal to the maximum, this thing. Oh, get rid of that. Total entities -1. We add them to the, we do this because I'm not sure that the I think the simulation might take more. I don't know. I'm just gonna let it rip and see if it breaks. No. Yeah, we ran out of bodies still. Okay, I'm gonna debug this later. I'm kind of curious to see if this works. The collision detection, that is. So this is gonna be 1022 because we have 2 extra. Okay, I do 1. Hi Shadowclaw. What progress? Breaking everything. I'm going to install Windows 10 a lot longer. Yeah, same. Yeah, I'm going to stick with Windows 10 for as long as I can hang on to it. Aren't these buffers for bodies added? Yeah, I thought so, but I thought maybe I could add them to the simulation. That's a pretty programming, yeah, pretty programming moment, 100%. So, just for Shadowclaw's sake, I am trying to get collision detection working for more than one, for like this whole scene of like, so that should be at the max. Oh, okay. Why aren't you working? So, if we just see like how if it works with this limitation, then we should be good. Last current entity. Let's do 0. Hang on. Just, why are you crashing, dude? Why am I accessing the last element of an array that hasn't been allocated to that size? Come on. No, I bet it's the same deal, isn't it? Yeah, it's the same deal. Okay, so this should be like simple. I just need to think to fix. So entities is the thing that's crashing, I think. Yeah. And if I looked at my old code, which didn't have this issue, so last current entity, blah, 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 blah. And I had -2 on this, didn't I? Maybe that was what I needed to. Oh, hang on. I'm an idiot. Sorry, let me fix this. So I need to start at 2, because, yeah, okay, that's what I did wrong. Yeah, it is right. It was crashing for a reason. Because I've already added 2. Okay, what now? Add and prepare. Oh, hang on. I've got this silly if statement here. Let's take this out. Yeah, because if I can't get the collision detection working at all, then we've got basically a bigger problem than the total number of objects. Now, fingers crossed that solves that issue. Right. Okay, so there's these gonna touch anything? Okay, let's speed these up like dramatically because I can't actually see. And I'm going to move these around a little bit, these ducks. So, I don't know, let's put this at 20. And this can be at 30. And then we're just going to speed up the linear position by... let's triple the speed. Is that triple or double? Or not even that. 16 times 16, I don't think it's 64, so yeah, that's not. Or is it? No, that is double. That should be going twice as fast. What? Where's the other one gone? Let's turn off that for a minute. Okay, so that's going to disappear off in the far plane. Where's the other one gone? It might. Oh, hang on. It might be inside a. Yeah, it's. I think it's gone. No, wait, it collided. Something collided. Not that. Okay, let's just move stuff around. I immediately lost the so that means it's gone up, it's to the left. Let's just zoom back real quick. Okay, there it is. Does it hit anything? No. Okay, let's so that just went off into the distance, hitting nothing. I mean, I could literally just put a rocket 0-0, and then that would be it. But I kind of want to make this scene kind of a bit. Okay, so I think if I load this down to -10, that was good. Nope. This needs to be... Oh, it collided? Oh, it collided. Let's see that again. So the one that goes down actually hits something. Oh, okay. Yay, did it. Okay. That's progress. So, yeah, there is a limit to how many objects you can have that are collidable, which is interesting. So that indicates that this is designed around having a big level with one collider, rather than lots of little colliders. Which is not something I saw when I was picking this engine. So I'm trying to think now, like, what do I want to do? Yeah. Trying to reason about that is difficult, isn't it, Ratchet? I might... I mean, it's a bit cheap, but I could just literally make the asteroids move and make them huge. But they will just collide into each other. Multi-threads and multi-queues, multi-frames in flight. Oof. Yeah. That is very, very difficult what you're trying to do. Okay. I'm going to try and... Oh, have we finished all our... Oh no, it's probably... Let's go like this. Okay, so what do I want to do? I've got to assume that I'm going to assume that, yeah, 1024 is the absolute limit. Now, I doubt it is. I think there's probably ways of getting around that. But let's just pretend for a minute that isn't the case. And you can't get around it. I think the space game I was going to make is going to be very different than I anticipated. Because I was actually going to spam the screen with way more asteroids than this. This was just like a test scene. Because I can definitely draw more than this. But that makes me think, okay, I've got to rethink what I want to do. I don't know. Let me just look at something. Let me look at a picture. There's gotta be a way. There's gotta be a way of adding more. Yeah, I think you're right, Ratchet. There's probably something I'm doing wrong here. Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that can't be right. There's got to be more than 1024 physics objects. I mean, sure, the ground can be a triangle mesh that you can do collision detection on, but like even in something like Mario Kart, there's walls, there's boxes, there's other players, there's the missiles that come out of the shells and stuff like that. The bananas, etc. There's like a lot of different things going on. And that's like the simplest thing where the triangle mesh makes the most sense. Because there's nowhere to go, you know what I mean? It's not like a grand open world. Like Cyberpunk, for example. That clearly has more than 1024. So I think you're right. I think with that being said, there's more than 1024. It's just I don't know why there's that limit. So let's read a bit more. I'm pretty sure Half-Life 2 could have that many physics objects. Yeah, and this is the other thing. I'm making static objects, you know? Like, I assume you could make tons of static objects, but not many dynamic objects? Yeah, because I would understand if all the objects moved. But you don't have to simulate objects that don't move in the same way that you do have to simulate objects that do move. But yeah, like you said, Half-Life 2 probably had, like, did all sorts with physics, and that was in 2004. So I probably just need to read more. I think this is a... I almost quoted when I was learning languages. There's a lot of the I don't understand this in this language. The answer is pretty much read more. So it might be a read more type situation. Yeah, so at least we're doing this because this is important. We have batched our things together. Which is important anyway, so. Yeah. Read more. Yeah, it became a bit of a meme that even Stephen Kaufman, if you know who that is, it's like a YouTuber who talks about languages. He said that. Okay, so I'm going to avoid all this. I don't remember anything about... Okay, so creating a shape, that's probably what we're interested in. I'm doing this for shape settings because it's yeah, totally. I mean, that's fantastic. Reading's an awesome thing. I should read more, to be honest. It helps dyslexia out a lot if you do. It helps it get better. Worse? I don't know. Diminishes the issue. Diminishes the issues of reading and writing if you read. Okay. Shape is cached. Yep. Yeah, so here we are in the read more, saving shapes. Right. I mean, this is cool, but it serialize using this. Sure, so that means we're going to do that then. I don't really care that much about. So we build a level, we stream it out. If I was, I'm not even at that point though. I'm just kind of like. Dang. I mean, Ratchet. That's kind of like a noob mistake. Making a mistake with a VMA. Bits. I mean, literally, you've got to be better than that, dude. You know what I mean? Only noobs make those mistakes. And for those who are watching, I will spoil the joke a little bit. I spent 3 hours and 22 minutes, well, 3 hours yesterday making the same mistakes. Oh yeah, that's a classic, forgetting to bind the index buffer and then being like, why aren't you working? What is this error? Oh yes, okay. Yeah, I forgot that too. I've forgotten to bind descriptor sets after creating them, thinking like, why is the data not turning up in the shader? Yeah, we all do it. Oh, you found something. Let's see. So physics system initialization, let's have a look. So yeah, it's possible that I'm setting it. Wouldn't it be funny if I already like set the value and to 1024? No, where is it? And I just forgot. Because I swear I've initialized it. So this may be Look at this. Max bodies. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Everyone close your eyes. No, we haven't made this mistake before. Let's go 4K. Constraints, I don't care. Thank you for looking that up, by the way. The max is, yeah, okay, that's a lot easier to work with. Oh, brilliant. Thank you for looking that up, by the way. That's actually really helpful. So I was making a mistake, but I didn't realize what the mistake is. For real projects, use something in the order of that. Okay, I will do. This is a real project. For real projects, yeah, use that. Thank you. Honestly, that's actually helped me a lot. So I can, my confusion about what was going on is now. So I can put this back to 111 for now, which is the demo scene. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, thank you. I had read that comment, but like, it's been a while. So if I maxed it up to, yeah, cool. So I can have a lot more spheres, and they should still be collidable. Is this going to collide with this? Okay, they all moved. Let's. I want to see if they move every time. Yeah, I'm useful. Oh, yeah. Nah. Always. This is the benefit of streaming. It's honestly like... Ooh, interesting. Oh, that collided, I think. Looks like a multiverse. Yeah. I know what you're saying. No, I think it's honestly, it's... okay, yeah. So, yeah, they're all collidable. Okay, so the reason that the ducks sometimes collide and sometimes don't collide is because every time we restart the game in this case, the rocks are in a different place. Cool. Honestly, that's sick. So yeah, in theory, I could make the. So let's crank it up a bit. I'm gonna do this to this 1,000, and now 2. So we doubled the amount of things. We doubled this. No, actually, we haven't doubled this. Whatever. It's gonna be pretty sparse, I think. I think still. Yeah, let's throw in. So this will be. If I've increased the radius, I think this will be 444. Will be the same density. So this might be slow. I don't know what's going to happen, to be honest. Right, yeah. Sure. It's laggy as hell. But that's something I can improve. I don't know where the lag's coming from, but... In fact, I can easily check this. Is this the graphics or is this the physics? That's the question. Likely both, but we can easily test the lagginess if I get rid of the physics and just see if it's that. Like by the way, my render is nowhere near any good, so it's not like I wouldn't be surprised there it is. Okay, yeah, it's my rendering. What the heck? Which is fine. And the physics as well. The physics does slow it down, but... Okay. Now, obviously, this isn't all acceptable speed. But let's turn off the debug renderer. Okay, so... That's better. It's still not very smooth, really. Yeah, it's still... I don't know what the frame rate is. Let's have a look what the frame rate is. There we go. So it's currently... Yeah, it feels that slow. And if I throw this in release... Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I know why that's happening. There we go, yep, that's that. The spheres are telling me... The pink spheres are telling me the actual collision geometry. So I'm just going to build this in release and just see the difference. I can't imagine it's going to be that much different. I think that's just all that's going to be improved is the... I'm also streaming, so it that's about, I don't know, a couple of frames. I don't know. It's sometimes it can vary. But... I'd want to have more objects than that in the scene, to be honest. Because I want like loads of things to do as well as dodge rocks. Need the dodge rock game. So yeah, just waiting for it to compile. I came across that programmers who code mainly in C++. Find hard times reading words. Yeah, it's a common trope, to be honest. People in IT and the computer field in general, you'll find more dyslexics, I think. Just, I don't know why. It's like a bit of a coincidence. There's a game that came out in 1996 called Piranha. Check it out. Yeah, sure. Is it, what console did it come out on, Piranha? We can look it up while it's compiling. I actually don't need to use my other computer for that. So we're just waiting for things to compile. Piranha. Let me spell it right. Oh, here we go. And the frame rate is what? So it's actually even slower, which is surprising. Yeah, this is slow-ish. Oh, yeah, okay, disable the debugging. So we get 30 FPS ish, which is smoothish. And we don't have VSync on, so we're just a little under 30 in release. And I don't think, sorry to, yeah, ignore that. Can actually fix that now. Let's fix that now. It's before I forget. But there are ways to make this way faster, by the way. There's basically no optimizations at the moment, which I could add. They'll take some effort, but that's the point of making this project, is to see when I should be putting them in. And it looks like I need to put one in now. Well, soonish. I think the simplest thing I can add is the view frostum core, which is a bit of a project, but it's something I can add. Yeah, so I'm just going to disable physics for a minute and just see. Oh, and also fix the scene thing. That's what I'm supposed to do. So there's an extra array now, which has an allocator. And this just needs to be deleted. So I'm just going to disable physics. And we'll go from here. Machine code beats humans' words. And the frame rate is without physics. Obviously, this is not appropriate, but I want to see if it's the physics slowing things down. Or the rendering. No, it's the rendering. That's good to know, good to know. So, view frustum cull is definitely the most obvious thing for this type of game. We've got small triangles, we've got tons of objects being drawn, and most of the time you don't see them all. And this is without any lighting. I can imagine with lighting it gets tons worse. So yeah, we need to add some way to cull some of the geometry off the screen, which I've done before. So it's I'll just have to look at the old project that I did for that. So it might be slow when you do this. In the future, like this is the worst case scenario. Like someone decides to do this. Now it's going to get slower anyway because the GPU is terrible at drawing small triangles. So I've got to make a game that kind of makes sense, that isn't stupid, if that makes sense. It isn't trying to draw tiny little things. I think this has informed me that I need to increase the size of the rocks and everything, actually. Interesting. Yeah, everything's done on the same thread, so it's all as slow as it can be. But if I've disabled physics and it's barely any faster, then it's likely my rendering. Insight, okay. Even if I've... I guess so, but... yeah, the physics could be slowing me down anyway, but I have to comment out the update physics thing. Let me try something as well. If I go into scene... No, I'm not going to keep this, but this is just an experiment. More game design thing than anything. Where is it? Model scale. Where's model scale gone? Here it is. Let's change this to 1. So this will make the ducks huge as well. So this is not ideal, but So as you can see, like everything's way bigger. And now the far plane's clipping it because it's so big. That also means the ducks are huge as well. Wherever they are. In comparison to what they were. I'm having to move way faster now just to even move a tiny bit. Oh, they don't look too bad, to be honest. Yeah, because I could scale everything again, but I don't think I want to do this. This is too much. This is the boss theme? No way, this is crazy for the boss theme. It's sick though. Yeah, this is the alternative where everything's like 10,000 years away. I feel like I need the infinite view for them for this type of game, maybe. Instead of the finite one. Hadn't thought of that. But anyway, I'll put this at 0.1 for now to keep everything in the scene. Everything on the screen. Alright, GPU trace, Insight. I don't have that. Right. Okay, so it's nearly 5 o'clock, so I'm going to call it here, gang. Just realised the time. Thank you anyone who joined, and thank you for anyone who helped me as well. Honestly, very much appreciate any criticism, any help, any feedback, any you know, looking up stuff for me. That was very nice. Mabdo. Let me before anyone leaves, let me quickly create a Discord invite to our Discord. It's just a small little Discord. Only has last time I checked 52 people in, so you know, feel free to talk. Anyone's welcome as long as you're chill. Let me just grab that now. And yeah, I know most of you who are watching are already invited, but this is just for the people who aren't. And I very much, again, thank you anyone who has joined and has been a part of the community. It's honestly great to see you there. So yeah, I will call it here, gang. And again, thanks for the hangout. Thanks for the great music. Thanks for the great vibes. Have a good rest of the day, guys.